Welcome back, guys. We're gonna have our third place match here for you guys. It is going to be PHONETAP, which we just saw his spirit crushed by the Chalky, the one and only himself, the aggro master. And he's going to be playing against the Rat, which had his own dream reverse sweeped and crushed by Shoop earlier. So these matchups, most of the players that have successfully gone through the Open tournament are playing very much the same decks. It is both players on Druid, both players on Paladin. The Rat having the Warlock and PhoneTap having the Shaman. So the Shaman, it does very well against probably the Druid and definitely the Paladin. But the Rat's own Druid is a little bit different. I think he's the one running Egg Druid. Am I right about
No,
that?
no, that was Shoop that was running Egg Druid. He
Oh,
punished,
Shoop is running Egg Druid.
yeah, he
Oh, okay.
punished the Rat's Paladin
Hmm.
opening with turn one egg, turn two egg, and the coin Defender of Argus. Um, the Rat's running a more traditional Druid build,
So they
from what
both
we
they both
saw.
are then.
Yeah, just going to be a pretty standard mirror match there. Um, but yeah, both these guys looking to, I think, fight against the other's Druid, and that mirror matchup may be what ends up being critical in this one. But either way, sort of the story so far for this top four is how much aggression fought through the open field and how well it's been performing so far this bracket. I mean, we've been seeing Druid and kind of being a weak link in a lot of these players' lineups.
Hmm. Both players choose to open up with Paladin. Um, PhoneTap's got the double juggler, but not much follow up from it.
Well, he does have that double shielded mini bot as well. Always a potential terror for
Two
anyone to face
pair
down.
again.
A much better two pair than the Azure Drake Force of Nature two pair.
Hmm. Ooh, I very much like the knife juggler into knife juggler get down.
He looks like he's going to favor something a little bit more resilient. Second guessing himself though.
Well,
Something
it
else
is
I've
tough.
noticed. Phone Tap's also going with the one of golden, one of non-golden pairs in his
I think there's
his
actually
decks.
some weakness to that, isn't there? Like you can thought steal like a golden card, and then if you see one played that's non-golden, you know that he has two of them in the deck. There's
Yeah.
some weird thing like that. There's some statistical disadvantage to playing one golden, one non-golden in tournaments.
Albeit, however rare it is, I definitely agree with you. Uniform your cards. Plus, it
Yep.
just looks better. I mean, imagine being that
Yeah.
guy who like strolls into like an interview for like a job, and you have like plaid pants and like a
Wow.
solid gray coat with
Are
the.
you a plattist?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you got to match. Like, if you're gonna wear plaid, you got to find matching plaid to go with it.
Okay.
You can't just throw on whatever you got and hope for the best. Like for me, I wear a lot of black clothes. I have a lot of black t-shirts. I have a lot of black shorts and pants. I like wearing black.
All right. Well, PhoneTap likes drawing the same cards he already has. Uh, I don't know how he's actually going to use them though. I feel like for PhoneTap to win, he's probably have to save at least one juggler and hope to draw a muster.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I actually kind of liked your open with knife juggler since he drew the noble sacrifice to go knife juggler into knife juggler noble sacrifice and hope for the best. The problem with that was that it would have disallowed him to attack for such a long period of time,
Hmm.
simply because you cannot have the knife jugglers run into a noble sacrifice. That is a disaster to
Hmm.
have happen. So it delays his damage by quite a bit, but it does give him a very strong defensive structure on the board. And if he would have been able to see the rat's hand, I think he would have been able to make a different decision here. But he's got to play against the right range of cards. So I think opening with a shielded minibot definitely overall a better play. In this particular situation, knife jugglers would have been better, but he doesn't have a way to know that.
Hmm. I think Hoghammer might actually be the best play here. He can just continue to fill the board, but he doesn't have a good play next turn if he does that.
And he agrees with you, and I would tend to agree as well. I mean, it's just a very strong drop. And he's going to check for secrets.
Is there a secret up?
I believe there's a noble sacrifice on board,
Is it
correct?
the noble sacrifice?
Yep,
Okay.
certainly is. So if it juggles away that 1/1,
It does juggle up the other one, yeah.
yeah, not quite the one he was looking for. Wanted to keep that 2/1 alive for as long as possible.
Um, I think the
Does it
Divine
matter?
Shield one staying alive is actually the bigger threat because of Kings.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And Keeper of Uldamon. I mean, halfway on the Kings.
Such a tough turn. Keeper of Wants such a good card, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Let me
Yeah.
think.
Set your opponent's arena score to 3-3. That's what it's known as now.
You play a lot of arena. Is that card problematic because it's a common?
It's ridiculous just because it does the opposite of what the rest of the deck does. So you can never play more minions versus Paladin, so you typically win by playing bigger minions, and then that thing comes down and ruins your day.
I'll keep that in mind next time I draft it. I've always just been using like, man, this will get my guy +2/+2. This is great.
Quickly.
Well, sometimes that's absolutely the case. Sometimes that's how you use it.
I'm a little bit too gung ho with my Voldemons. I just let him rip. If he plays a big guy, I'm like, never lucky.
All right.
Just at it.
And the rat really loves the double mysterious challenger draw.
Yeah, it's been such a theme for him today. Either way, he does have strong plays against his board. That Coghammer, the fact that he chose to invest into it has really paid off dividends at this point. He's killed two health minions with it at this point.
He could have actually played a bit more greedy there if he used the Cog Hammer to kill the 1/1, and then the Shielded Minibot had to trade into the Divine Shield of the dude.
Do you think that's better?
Um, I don't know about better, but it was greedier. It could have ended up better. Going
I'm
into
trying to.
turn 5, there's actually not that many punishes.
Yeah, there definitely isn't. The thing I'm thinking about is with his own hand. I mean, with Sludge Belcher and Mysterious Challenger back behind, what could go wrong by playing greedy? I feel like if he doesn't play greedy, he's got this game
Hmm.
very large percentage of the time, given the board state in his hand.
Hmm.
So, affording the greedy play. If his hand was weaker, I would tend to think that playing for greed is likely a good thing. But given that he's so far ahead already, I think it's tough to justify.
Buff
Phone
that Secret
tap.
Keeper.
Yeah, Phone tap gonna buff his opponent's Secret Keeper to favor and avenge on board. And
I think I'd
that
like the Secret Keeper face and then Cog Hammer clean up the Juggler.
that's
Because
what I'm thinking as well.
the Avenged dude would play very badly into the Sludge Belcher. It's
Yeah, I
just
like that as well.
absolutely terrible, actually. And looks like Redemption will not be triggered off the Mysterious Challenger. I think we saw double Redemption in the early days of Secret Paladin, but that's since gone away.
Yeah, having two of those isn't really the best. It's not the easiest setup in the world for Paladin. Sometimes just you have excess 1/1s on board, so your opponent has an easy trigger to the Redemption. So drawing them really not that good. Phone tap does get the first challenger here, but again, not without Redemption in hand. This becomes a much less powerful effect. But he does get 4 secrets here. Did he have a Repentance in his build that we saw?
He has to have it up then.
Unless he has a second Redemption in his deck, which would be a little bit uncharacteristic from what we've seen recently.
Why wouldn't it be Repentance?
Let me think.
It's only way it wouldn't be Repentance is if there's second Redemption.
Yeah, and I doubt that's the case. That has to be Repentance. So the reason the Repentance is good is because it kind of blocks the Mysterious Challenger from being played. It's like the old Doctor Boom syndrome. Whoever gets the 7 mana first tends to have the better Doctor Boom. Very similar to the Mysterious Challengers, but it's really not that bad because Phone Tap can't actually deal 1 damage very easily.
I must move quickly.
Bench does split here, so Mysterious Challenger gets loaded up, and now the Rat's looking at his own Mysterious Challenger. And normally that 1 health would be kind of a big deal, but he's got to get that Sludge Belcher first, so as far as he's concerned, this is just as good as gold as that other one. Competitive Spirit making that a 10-9 is not very fun looking at this board right now. Versus the 6/1, the 2/1, the 3/1. Oh, second Mysterious Challenger, and he does have the Redemption a couple of this one.
Yeah, but the Mysterious Challenger that he plays is going to be repented himself, and it is actually relevant now because it will die to like a haunted creeper. So when it gets redeemed, it doesn't really help much.
No Repentance for the Rat though, so just going to be Competitive Spirit on his turn. But at this point, he's got his own second Mysterious Challenger, but he's already got 3 secrets on board.
Man, how are these guys still so mysterious? I mean, we've seen so much of what they've done. What can we do here? Get rid of the get down. 7-2 into the 6-6, get avenged again, and then keeper.
I think with 2 Sludge Belchers, or the Sludge Belcher and then the little body that comes out afterwards, he's totally fine just pushing damage. Like, he may Keeper here just to reduce the effects from that 10-9, you know, just to put it more troublesome for PhoneTap. But other than that, I see this damage all getting pushed at the moment and setting up a big lethal the following turn with Blessing of Kings and just the board presence that you currently have. I don't know if PhoneTap has a realistic way to answer that.
No, he doesn't need Blessing of Kings.
I just mean even like in worst case scenario, I don't really know how your opponent could deal with this position. Looks to me like Rat just, you know, he had the presence going into the Mysterious Challenger turn, and that's really the bigger difference. This matchup isn't necessarily as much about who gets the first Challenger, so much as it is who has the board when the Challengers come down. That's really the big deal.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing PhoneTap can do here. PhoneTap has lost quite a few consecutive games. He just got reverse sweeped and then lost his first in the 3rd place match. We'll see if that weighs down upon him. But I have to say that in recent times, I've seen Hearthstone players be very mentally stable, very mentally prepared for tournaments. We see a lot less goofy slip-ups and tilting than we had in the early stages of tournament Hearthstone play.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my first time, you know, being under the lights. I was counting up my hand, and I was like, yeah, 6 mana worth of spells, perfect here. Well, you gotta have 6 mana to be able to play 6 mana worth of spells. Just straight up threw the game away by not being able to play that 6th and final mana card. You know, but these guys at this point, a lot of them are very experienced, like you mentioned, just, you know, very mentally together and not really focusing on the short-term effects, really on the long term.
Was that a get down? I didn't catch it there.
It was not.
Okay.
So I actually didn't quite catch what it was either. He played that so quickly. Ooh, draws Repentance. It's not really the draw you're looking for in this matchup.
No, it's
The
not.
Rat playing a more conventional zoo build. We saw some different
Well,
stuff
if
out of
this is
Chalky.
Redemption, this would be an awful attack. This would be like a game-throwing attack if you played Redemption here.
I'm actually surprised that he wants to attack into the Haunted Creeper at all rather than just push damage. I mean, I feel like he's got 6 uncontested damage on board right now. Start getting them. Your opponent's got to have an answer right now or it's donezo.
Is it going to be the Kings? Yes, it is going to be the Kings. I wondered if it was going to be the Consecrate there for a moment.
I actually don't mind the Consecrate here. Curious which one of those ends up being better. But this is a tough turn, though. 2 eggs and Defender of Argus.
I think I like the double egg the most.
Just try to get the Argus out on 5 and present a problem
I also
afterwards.
don't like the attack here. Yeah. I think going face is the solid strategy, especially since you've already started winning on that game.
Yep. No redemption either, though.
So that has to be avenged then. It has to be avenged. It's the only
Yeah.
possible one.
So double egg afterwards, and then start pushing some damage. Something that's very strong against Paladin sometimes is when they have Avenge on board. It's actually not triggering the Avenge going in the Mysterious Challenger turn, so they don't get that extra benefit. And that little tiny bit can sometimes be the difference. You know, they didn't gain the earlier tempo. They've taken a little bit of extra damage. They got a tiny bit less benefit from their Mysterious Challenger.
I know,
You know,
man,
Hearthstone's
you have
about those little
nothing.
things.
Oh, Belcher. That is a good draw. Not only does that prevent you from just being rolled over by this aggression, but it forcefully triggers your Avenge.
Ooh.
Wow.
Gormok right behind that, too. So now which one of these is better? Is it the Gormok or the Doomguard? I mean, this was looking like a pretty
No,
solid Doomguard turn.
easily the Gormok is the play here. Easily the Gormok.
Yeah, following up with the Doomguard here is going to be so strong. He gets to activate an Egg 2, sit behind another taunt. This is looking pretty good for the Rat right now. PhoneTap's boards just haven't really been coming together. He's been under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah. Soon enough, we'll find out that PhoneTap is also playing Equality.
Quality Consecrate definitely would have been some good here.
Yeah.
This hand is just so heavy. He's fallen so far behind on board too. I don't actually know if he can climb out of this.
Yeah, he's one off lethal, and the get down doesn't really prevent much damage. So, I mean, the Warlock has 3 cards, and he's gonna draw 2 more next turn. And this is very optimistic to think that you're gonna stay alive here.
I'm gonna make the most of it, but just not able to. That Doomguard from hand gonna provide more than enough damage to get this one done with.
Yeah, the Argus is actually lethal.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, even the Argus was lethal. So just everything going the Rat's way this game. 2-0 lead now over PhoneTap.
Oh,
That's
I guess
5
the Rat
drops
is
straight.
screwed. Because this is reverse sweep day.
Yeah, we have seen 2 of those now, but these are both the guys who got reverse swept as well. Are they capable of doing the same on the other side? Is it just sweeps?
We'll have to see. The Rat's final deck, I think, is Druid, though. I mean, that is the reverse sweep candidate of the night.
Yeah, it definitely seems so far.
The Druid is pretty bad against the Shaman, the Paladin, and, well, it can't be that great against its own deck. So, this is absolutely anyone's game still.
I'll tell you what, though. If you're playing against Secret Paladin, Living Roots is definitely one of the cards you want to see in your opening hand.
Yeah. But you're not going first with it, and the Secret Keeper does contest it quite well. That's the other issue this time. I think if you go first with Living Roots, that's absolutely the card you want. Going second is actually considerably worse with it.
He's going to hang on to it. Mulligan's away the Shade and the Piloted Shredder as well, wanting to find ways just to offset the board.
I like Mulligan the Shade. Even though the Shade is a very good card, I feel against Paladin because the early game plays are so explosive that you usually just use the Shade as a 3/3 for 3, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, no turn 2 for PhoneTap. Just gonna avenge and pass. And that Innervate looks like some pretty good news for the Rat. You see the smile come over his face when he drops the Innervate.
Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't turn that smile upside down with a Repentance, though.
That's what he's thinking about, too. He's seen Repentance from PhoneTap's build already. He's like, is this really Repentance? Is this really going to happen right now?
Well, even if it's Repentance, he can actually... oh no, he might not be able to silence it in time because he doesn't actually have 4 mana next turn. You can typically silence your own minion if you need to.
Yeah, I can tell you it feels a lot better that wasn't Repentance at this point. So, muster for battle. I'll try to answer this, but...
How many games has PhoneTap lost straight with this Paladin? Is it 4 or 5 if he loses this?
I think his last game that he dropped was the 5th straight game that was dropped.
But with Paladin, I mean, right? Because I think... Was it? 5 straight with Paladin? Wow. Alright, well, the Keeper of Uldaman does bring him back in the game pretty well.
Well, no, Chalky was beating the Druid deck, wasn't he? Yeah, Chalky was beating the Druid deck. This is the 2nd straight game with Paladin he's lost.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Keeper of Uldaman, fantastic job from that card.
This is actually a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, nothing too strong available. I mean, he does have clear options, but at what cost?
Yeah, they're very weak.
I mean, he almost has to know the secrets of Avenge at this point.
You can hero power the guy and then Shade and Wrath the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to clear, it's just going to cost him his whole board. So it's kind of looking at how strong does he believe his turn 5 is versus his opponent's turn 5, and it looks like he's going to choose to take out the 1/1.
Probably
then,
Keeper.
Yeah, Keeper of the Grove to set this back down to a 3/4 and hope to contest this board in the future. I actually like this spot from the Rat, letting the board tension build instead of just necessarily going for the full clear. Something you very commonly see from a lot of strong players is they're not afraid to have that board tension created because they feel comfortable navigating those situations.
Still some pretty uneasy plays from PhoneTap, even though he is winning. You usually want to be winning by more, and you usually want to be looking at a better hand than he is right now.
Definitely true. Second Secret is going to provide some questions for the Rat. 2 Azure Drakes in hand. I mean, you don't really have much of an option here, do you?
Well, it looks like he wants the Wrath for one. He's not too happy playing the Azure Drake, so he's just hoping
It's hoping it's
to get
Avenge.
something else.
If it's Avenge, he gets paid off in spades here with that big game hunter. And there's the bad news. So I'm just going to chew through this Pilot Shredder body. Try to...
No.
Oh, no, he's not. He's actually just going to... go face.
Yeah, I like the face play because if the Shredder does initiate the trade, then the secondary effect of the swipe deals with it pretty well.
And that's basically all of PhoneTap's cards. Competitive Spirit, Repentance are the secrets right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've seen one keeper down, and we've seen a slow start from the Rat. So that Tyrion, even though he's coming down the turn after the next, doesn't seem to have much opposition.
Yeah, definitely unchecked at the moment. It's kind of tough to say who's favored in this spot right here. I mean, I feel like PhoneTap's obviously got a better board right now, but the Rat has eventual answers. His answers aren't too great, but they're answers nonetheless. It's really tough to call a favorite from here.
Ooh, is this going to work?
Well, it doesn't end up too poorly for him.
I wonder why he chose to attack first. Why do you think that is? What does that play around?
I'm not really too sure, to be perfectly honest with you. Like maybe
Like
if
it was
Pilot
no.
Shredder drops. I'm sorry, if Doomsayer drops, he gets to save a swipe. That's a pretty extreme situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
too
maybe-
sure.
Maybe playing for extremes is okay. Once again, I mean, this position has been created 3 turns in a row now where the Rat just doesn't really have a strong option into the board. But does get to clear up a lot here, but then he's facing down Tyrion, so it looks like PhoneTap has come out with a pretty sizable advantage at this point.
Your faith in the light.
And no answers currently for the Rat, so gonna be an uphill battle from here. I mean, the fact that you're playing Azure Drake into Tyrion and a dude with no... Whoa! Yeah, you know, sometimes you just draw the right card. I don't think it's going to come down this turn. I think he's going to look for a better spot to play it, but...
Yeah, it's still a very clunky hand. And it continues to be.
Yeah, this is this is looking pretty brutal. That Tyrion is going to keep smacking. It's just so much damage that's coming through. Like I don't really know how he stems this at some point. He's got answers to stuff, but are they enough? Is it enough to really stop this assault?
Yeah, and Druid is not well known for stopping assaults. It stops assaults by killing the opponent with Force of Nature, Savage Roar most of the time. And it doesn't look like that's going to be an option either. It just looks pretty over, like... What can you really do here? Oh, I think I got it. I think he had... No. Never mind, I don't got it. No, there's no way.
Well, that swipe actually could be enough to turn this table a little bit. So, Keeper of the Grove on the Tyrion. You can swipe on the Knife Juggler to clear out the 1/1s.
I don't think you actually need to keep her here. I think swipe face after the Azure Drake is the play, because Tyrion is not going to die this turn anyway. So
like
the
this.
silence has no value.
Yeah, I like this play a lot. And now this actually gives him a point where if he stabilizes through this turn, he could actually draw Force Nature and win the game. Like, and if PhoneTap doesn't actually trade into this Azure Drake, Force Nature Savage
I
Roar
think
will
he
end the
will.
game.
I think he will absolutely trade, though.
Wow. I'm very surprised by this. Like, you know, I thought that this was certainly going to be close to the end, but that swipe top deck really changed things.
Reporting for duty.
Now he's, again, in pretty bad shape.
Reporting for duty.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wild Growth, I think, is going to have to deliver.
Well, the other thing too is if you Keeper of the Grove the Tyrion, you can actually deal it 2 damage and play the Emperor Thoris on, and then your opponent has to worry about your board pressure. So then a Druid of the Claw or a Force Nature top deck
What?
could be enough to end the
Oh,
game.
Force of Nature
Yeah.
is what he's looking for right now. There's no doubt about that. But I think you should Wild Growth first. Because, oh wait, no. If you Emperor, if you do Keeper Emperor, you can actually Wild Growth and try to get Force of Nature next turn.
Yeah, exactly. I think you deal 2 damage to the
Yeah.
Tyrion
Oh,
too.
you deal 2 damage for sure. But I was just thinking, whether you'd Wild Growth this turn or the next, and with the Emperor's effect in discounting your whole hand here, I think that definitely qualifies as the best play. I think that's what he's thinking about. I think we're going to see him make the play.
I must safeguard.
Yeah, I think he's trying to consider what plays
Oh.
put him in a position where he doesn't actually die to like Blessing of Kings or something like that. He's trying to minimize PhoneTap's outs in this spot by playing this way.
Well, he still has the Blessing of Kings, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to find a way to not die to that card, and it just wasn't there. Sludge Belcher gets drawn. Hi-yo!
Yeah,
That's
that is
gonna-
a pretty good one.
That's going to
But-
put a stop to pretty much all these plans.
Does it though? I mean, if you're in PhoneTap's position here, you might think that playing the Sludge Belcher is actually not enough. You might have to clear. And when you look at that board, like, how do you even clear that? You have to clear the whole board if you're going to play against combo. You really do, right? Because if you just kill the Keeper with your weapon, you're at 11, and you can take 12 from a combo. So if you're going to make a safe play, you actually have to trade every single minion.
Well, there is a halfway point, whereas if you play the Sludge Belcher and you don't clear, you still have played around Druid of the Claw and Savage Roar.
Reporting for
If you clear the Piloted Shredder, it depends on what the drop is on whether or not you've cleared. And it looks
See,
like he's going for the full clear.
This is what I don't like. I don't like this.
Oh, he's
because
just
you
clearing
s-
off.
Yeah, you still lose the combo, right? You still lose the combo, and
Yeah.
you might not guarantee a lethal next turn.
Facing down 13, the rat can still stay alive this turn by 1.
Yeah.
I think you attack with the Shredder first, see what you get.
I don't know about that. You think the Shredder on the board threatens lethal for you?
Wow. Yeah, he's going to play to keep going here.
Whoa!
That's an interesting one. I mean, that potentially has to be cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that has to be
that is a
the
bad
worst draw
draw.
in the deck. That's like
I
innervate
believe you
bad.
play that, by the way.
Oh yeah, I would snap play it. I would play it instantaneously and be like, yeah, great secret.
Let me think.
The fact that he's thinking so long about this, I think gives the rat a little bit more information about this might be really bad. And since he played the last turn so defensively, he doesn't have lethal this turn. I think you were right. I think making the offensive play and throwing caution to the wind was actually a better play.
Let me think.
I mean, this is tough. If he doesn't clear that 5, I mean, he's basically dead to, like, all the burst damage in the rat's deck at this point.
Not quite. I mean, at 6, you're just outside of most of it. I think 5 is where you start panicking. But the main issue is that PhoneTap can't actually close out the game. With the
Oh
given
my
board
gosh.
state, he does not have enough damage. He only has enough damage if the rat kills a dude, actually. If the rat kills a dude, he loses the game.
I don't think he's going to kill a dude. I really don't. I don't even think he's going to attack. Wait a minute. What is
Whoa.
this?
I didn't think he was going to do that.
He's going for lethal.
Yeah, but how do you get it now?
The Force of Nature draw was the draw. This
I
is
see.
very interesting.
I think I would have much rather preferred to see a Dr. Boom and Hero Power don't attack play. Because how do you deal with Dr. Boom, right?
Yeah, I'm with you on that boat. So goes to face,
Where shall I start?
knows it's not Noble Sacrifice, taunt up the 4/6. I mean, this is still pretty much lights out for PhoneTap here, unless he just draws
Nope. That's good
4.
enough for now.
That will keep him alive. But then he's losing his entire board, aside
Yeah,
from
but
a single one.
a true silver top deck or a king's top deck is lethal, I believe.
Reporting for duty.
So I don't think that's too bad either. He has
Yep,
to
kind of.
attack, though. He has to attack. That's a good
Yep.
play. If he didn't attack, he would counterfeit his own true silver draw.
Oh my gosh. This game is so brutal. It's literally coming down to PhoneTap's next draw because of this sequencing. Oh, this is beautiful. And look at the rat. He's just in anguish over this play. He knows that he's going to die to any
Why?
damage.
Why is he in anguish? I feel like this is a very straightforward play.
So a lot of players who are very strong at plays want to be in control of their own destiny 100% of the time, and they'll go out of their way to try to be in control of their own destiny a higher percentage of the time. And so he's trying to find any way that he can get control of that, and it frankly just really isn't there.
Waits for no one.
So what he's considering right now is just going through everything. He just wants to make sure he's kind of dotted all his I's and crossed all his T's at this point.
Okay. Looks like a good play. Killing the dude does not help. But he might think it's avenged, so he might kill the dude. No.
Yeah, I was just concerned with whether or not PhoneTap draws it.
No.
Back-to-back secrets. You know, when you got 10 mana up, the 1 mana utility spells are typically not what you want to draw.
Alright, well, looks like PhoneTap is going to fully brick here in this match for third place. PhoneTap goes out as fourth place of this ONOG tournament here, and the Rat as third. The difference between third and fourth, not a huge deal. They both get a single World Hearthstone World Championship Tour point. But that's still better than zero. I mean, you got to add those up somehow. The Rat will take home an additional $100. He's getting home 150 versus PhoneTap's 50. And the Geico points, probably the most significant factor between the placings here. Third place takes home 7 and fourth place 5. The Geico points allow you to qualify for the 5 feature tournaments throughout the 2016 ONOG circuit, which leads to, more of what they've won already. So, yeah, we'll have to see how they'll do in those. And I'm really excited to see how soon some of the content promised by Blizzard is going to roll out, because, the sooner we have that in place, the crazier these tournaments are going to become.
And that's exactly what I'm looking forward to as well, is seeing how players have to tackle the standard format. I mean, so far, Hearthstone players really have not been thrown into that sort of situation where they have to make big adjustments and come up with new strategies right on the fly. A lot of Hearthstone has been information that's constantly getting refined step by step. But as soon as that format change happens, it's a whole new world.
All right, guys, we have one more match for you guys tonight. It is going to be our final. Just as a reminder, this is an open bracket tournament. So the final, even though you might know Chalky, he did in fact qualify all throughout. And his opponent, who's also qualified through, I believe, a field of 64, is Shoop, who's playing an anti-Secret Paladin lineup, which might have some success, as every finalist is, in fact, playing Paladin. Quite a bit of exciting matches left to come. We will be back in a few minutes. And in the meantime, if you guys want to check out some of the sponsors and head over to geico.onog.gg, throw your name in for that chance to win an Alienware PC, well, you might go home even happier than you thought you would. So check out the site. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and stick with us, guys.